It is Wednesday, October 20th, and we've got a boys' night here on jury duty because Gina's got something better to do. All right, so let's just get into it. Okay, exciting night. Sorry, I'm eating candy. So it starts right off. All right, so I took my notes.
Yep.
My very first note, and I was really hoping that this would age well, and it did. And I wanted you to see that my very first note. So I could not have fabricated this. Not sure Jeannie should be so comfy. So excited. I'm so excited. Very proud of myself.
There you go.
Clearly, she should not have been.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, I said now she's preparing coconuts. But last week she told everybody to fuck off. I thought that was fun. Yeah. So what do we think? I don't really have a lot of comments for the very, very beginning here. I did think it was interesting though. I thought this was the first time that we heard that if you don't use this idol by the merge, it's useless.
Yeah, I think that was the first that I had heard that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that before unless
I was not aware.
Behind.
Yeah.
Gina's popping in to say have a good time.
Aw, Gina.
So I guess she took some time out of her busy schedule to say hello. Well, thank you. Off we go now. We have work to do. Okay. Yeah, so that was the first time I felt like I heard that. So
yeah,
whatever to that. I had a side note. I really like that production has edited in their own version of the Shan jingle, the Shan evil jingle.
Oh yes,
did you notice that?
I did catch that tonight. Yeah,
I thought that was a good time.
This was the first time they did that, right? Like,
I think it was. I almost want to go back and see. I won't do it, but I almost want to go back and see like if they've been doing it before. Because this is the first time I've noticed it.
Right? Because like I know we've heard her sing it, and I feel like I've heard them do like a little kind of like background do. But like this felt different. This felt like a real.
This was dedicated.
Yeah, somebody worked on
sat
this.
down and said, "Okay, no, we're putting this in. We're putting this in, and we want to make sure that people know what it is." Yeah. No, I liked it.
Right.
I
agree.
What other notes did I have for day 10 in the Uwa tribe? Because that's how we opened this episode, right?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw it coming, but we saw Jeannie then find that immunity idol.
Yeah, because we saw that on like the upcoming things. Now, what we didn't expect was the fact that Shan was basically saying, just leave it. I mean, I don't know why people keep listening to this woman.
I know.
Okay, give me your stuff. Okay, just leave this over here. Yeah, sure. Like, I don't know why people I don't know why they're all going for it. I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
And the switching and the giving back and forth of this extra vote thing. I mean, it happens so much. I'm getting so tired of it. You know, I'm really getting, I mean, I have a lot more comments about that, like obviously, like for later. But the fact that she gave the extra vote to Ricard, because now her vote was canceled because she did open the advantage, even though she told everybody else to leave it. I don't know how I felt about that.
I know there's so
I feel like
much
that was like another like silly move. Like at first, it kind of sort of made sense, you know, because the whole, you know, we're working as one, but
yeah. It's weird, like watching these advantages and idols get passed around like they're like a form of currency, you know, like
yes.
And even watching, Shan and Ricard argue about the idol and the advantage later on in the episode was wild to watch.
But, yeah, I can't wait to get to that. Yeah, I can't wait to get there. I just think that the passing back and forth. I mean, I've only watched another like 4 seasons, so like, what do I know? But I've never seen anything like that. I think it's a little crazy.
Yeah, it does seem like just a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and like while I understand it sometimes, like in the moment, like this is just something that we would never do in the Big Brother house. We're not giving up anything that we have.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it's just such a foreign concept to me, and like I kind of wish some other like Survivor fans would like kind of pop in here and tell us like is this what people do? 'Cause this doesn't make
right.
any sense to me. Doesn't feel like good gameplay.
Were you surprised that Jeannie ran right to Shannon Ricard to tell them about the idol after she found it? Like, were you surprised that she ran right to them? Like,
Yes. Because there was no reason like for her to do so. Like,
right,
especially
like,
if it was an idol, like she knew she was on the bottom of this, especially after like what happened last week.
right,
Um,
and
so
with,
I don't know why she'd be so
yeah,
quick like to share it.
after last week and even the week before with Brad, like, like she's kind of been like, if I found that thing, I would have been like, okay, this is something that I now have over these two other people in my tribe.
And
I'm
I
not
have
going
to
to
keep it.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry, even if I was sharing a Ricard, though, I think I would feel similarly. But I
yeah,
think even more so for Jeannie. But I really do feel like she was on the wrong side of a lot of things
yeah.
this season. She was always like voting wrong. I mean, you voted your vote. But like wrong in the sense that like she's not going with the majority. Um,
Right.
Constantly on the bottom. I don't understand why the one time you had a leg up, you were so before you even opened it up, you gave it
Yeah.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of silly. Kind of silly. Um,
uh, but
Before we leave UA,
yeah. No.
I do want to just point out Ricard's little sassy note about Gina calling her a spare tire. I thought that was a little inappropriate.
I
I
wrote
didn't
that
like that.
too. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I didn't
I didn't
like
like
that at
that.
all.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
But it
Um,
was nice. It was nice to see that we were gonna get a line because at this point, we didn't know, because you saw Ricard and Shan then being like, well, maybe we should tell Jeannie, like, even though we didn't take the idol, let's just say the line and see who else says it. I thought that whole thing was interesting too, where it's like, oh no, like we're just gonna test it out. So
like, and what does that even mean? Test it out for what? Because now if Luvu says it, which obviously came to pass, but if Luvu says it and like you don't really have it, then now Yasa says it. So now what? I thought that was like a silly thing. I didn't really know like what would that mean.
yeah,
Like what was really like the point of that? I don't know. I thought that was strange.
I guess it was just their way of like trying to make sure that they could get the idol, but without Jeannie thinking anything was up. It was like, oh yeah, we have this and we know where it is, so let's just say it and see if the other two tribes have theirs. But if they don't, like,
yeah, I mean, I get it in theory, but I just don't know how you execute something like that. Yeah,
right.
Sounds silly. Then we got to see a little glimpse at day 10 at Luvu.
Yes.
I felt this was an uneventful visit. Sydney fishes, and Nasir says no to throwing. There's no drama going on over there. They're just doing a great job. So like, there's nothing to say. They're kind of boring. There's a lot of stuff going on at Yasa. Lots of stuff going on over there.
There is a lot of stuff.
So it opened up, our little highlight here over at Yasa, with Evie telling Xander she wants to play with him, which clearly a lie. What I'm finding interesting, though, is that Tiffany is moving up on my ranking here. Yeah, I think she's doing a great job, at least at this point.
Right.
I like that she was telling Liana that she doesn't trust Evie. She shouldn't.
Right.
I don't know. I just think that she's playing the game a little bit better and better. That whole bit with her and Xander. Oh, how messy. How very messy. I'm sure you have notes on that.
It was really interesting, like, because Xander found himself in this like weird situation where it was funny that you see like Tiffany and Liana talking about Xander, because everybody has known about Xander's advantages this whole time. But then while you have Tiffany and Liana talking, they keep cutting over to Evie and Xander talking, then being like, maybe it's just for the best for me to just like be honest and like gain some trust and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So like I hadn't even thought about it until like it was actually happening. But like as Xander is trying to explain, like, oh yeah, I just found this and it's in my bag and blah blah blah. It's like no. Everybody heard you say that butterfly thing, and Tiffany's been talking about it.
And they heard you say it more than once, which is the problem that we said about this little quote all along.
Yeah.
Right.
God, it was really. But I loved Tiffany's faces where she's like talking to him, and then like whenever he had his back to her, or whatever, she would turn around and just like make this face. Like, I know you're full of it.
Listen, I got to tell you, like Tiffany is really delivering on the good television right now. Like she is. I'm really liking her. But yes, Xander, so very messy. Like if you're gonna be honest, just be honest and actually like go for it here.
What did you think of the bag rummaging? Because we knew that was like coming. Like what? Like, watching the.
I mean, I don't understand why you would just leave your stuff out in the open like that.
Right.
You had it coming.
About, like, he's like, "Oh, I sleep on my bag. It's not a big deal." It's like, all right, well, your
bag, blah blah blah.
You're not with your bag right now.
You should bury it. It's like maybe you should bury it. Like maybe that's not the best thing. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Xander is not doing a great job, and I think that he's going to. Well, I'm going to take that back now because I was going to say that he's going to find himself in trouble the next time Yasa is on the outs. However, now that we know that the idols are activated, because Nasir said what he needed to over at Luvu, so the idols are now in play. I like when they merge. Who's that?
Yeah. Well, were we saying before? Were we saying that something happens to the idols and the advantages at the merge? Were we saying that before?
Yeah, that's what we heard for the first time tonight.
Right.
That at the merge, that apparently these idols are useless.
Okay.
Or is it just the advantage? Like, is it because it's not really an idol, right, until it's activated? So are they saying that maybe the possibility of receiving this idol, is that what expires? Like there's too many rules with a lot of these twists. There's a lot of stuff I really can't keep it all straight.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah, it's like a little bit too much. Because there was another advantage that I thought that comes up later. That I thought was also wild. Stupid. I don't know. It's kind of getting very convoluted in my opinion. But the idols are in play, so Xander can protect himself. So the next time that we see Yasa in trouble, at least Xander has that, and I think he's going to need it. Because he's everybody's target at this point. Like nobody wants him, except for the fact that Evie is now kind of coming around the corner as like a light target for Tiffany and Liana. Be very anxious to see how that one goes, because Xander does still have the extra vote also. And since people know that might be a reason now to not target Xander, because he's got an idol and 2 votes. So you might want to be careful with him now that he's got his vote back.
And when you look at it too, it really makes you think like they really missed an opportunity in a way. Like that week where they voted out Voce, right? Or Voce. Like that
should have gone for Xander.
All this time, Xander hasn't had anything, and with just one little, line being spoken, he's got his vote back, an extra vote, and the idol now. Like
he's arguably like the most powerful player now in the game because he's got the most stuff.
Right.
If assuming Ricard gives this extra vote back to Shan.
Yeah.
Which I think he will, but we'll get to that. All right, so whatever. Things are in play. Tarps are up for grabs. Whatever. That didn't turn out to be as interesting as I thought it would be, like when I wrote it down. I also didn't. All right, so in the challenge, so what do we have to do here? You had to go up the cargo net and then go back down. You had to untangle the key, unlock the machete to cut down the sandbags, and then you had to knock down 2 targets. Like, really a lot to go on here. But I don't understand why nobody else from the Uwa tribe other than Ricard was firing the sandbags, especially since he was having a lot of trouble doing so. Like,
unless I guess they're the they've lost more people at this point. Maybe Genie and Shan just didn't feel like didn't feel comfortable trying it. I don't know. I mean, they didn't show. From what I saw, it didn't look like they tried at all, which was surprising.
No, it didn't look like they were ever up. Yeah, which is very surprising to me because he wasn't doing well.
Unless he just wasn't letting them. Unless he was just like not leaving that spot. Like,
which that kind of stubbornness where we definitely saw a lot of that this episode. So that's also like possible. And then we were definitely robbed because we didn't get to see any of that. So missed opportunity for Survivor if that's the case. But all right. So what do we get from that? Luvu still wins. Solid 6-piece tribe.
Yeah.
Completely has gone unscathed. Yasa, surprisingly enough, pulls out the win. And we're watching Ua lose an immunity challenge yet again.
Just the destruction of Ua.
I mean, they are forcing whatever this twist is that's happening next week. It's because they are underperforming so hard that they can no longer like continue with the game in its current format. So that's how bad Ua is doing. And obviously we have a lot more like to say. But after the challenge, unless you had something more about the challenge, I mean, there's nothing to say there, right?
No, I mean, we know what happened. Ua was on the chopping block.
Yeah, really stinking up the joint yet again. But before anybody goes to tribal or anything like that, we had to send 2 people to this island again, right? To go up on their trek and make their decision. So the people selected were Liana from Yasa and then Shan from Ua. Yep. And they had a nice moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It seemed like they wanted to get to know each other for a while. That's what it seemed like they both had said. Like they wanted to, have a chance to really kind of talk.
It was nice. It was nice. There was some black girl bonding we had there.
Yeah, and we got to hear some stuff about their past and their families and stuff. And Shanna in particular really had a lot. It seemed like,
interesting. Some of her backstory.
Yeah, to see where she's at now as a pastor, and to hear some of the the struggles that she had growing up and everything, and hearing how she lost her mom recently. That was tough. I thought her and Liana really had some good bonding.
Yeah, that was nice, and I like this. I like that they're doing that. This is the first time I've seen this kind of like pre-mixing of the tribes before the merge. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened again. Again, I'm not seasoned. Don't come for me. But I like that we can have these conversations with people that we don't know. So when we get to the merge, if we get to the merge, there's already some groundwork laid down. It's going to be interesting to see how things shake out. I like this a lot. I think that's cool.
I agree. I totally agree.
What I'm not liking. Oh, go ahead.
No, it was very cut and dry. I felt like too. There was a little more. It wasn't as sure necessarily which player is going to protect or risk or this or that. This was very cut and dry. Like you take it because I have to do this. So
I felt good about it the whole time.
Yeah,
I felt like it was a genuine conversation. Yeah, I like the 2 of them. I'd like to see them kind of play together later on. I hope we get there. I think that with Shan, with this now activated idol, I think she'll make it to the merge whenever that is.
No,
I don't see her really being on anybody else's radar. I don't think Picard's going to do anything with her yet. If they did merge or however this mix-up is going to be. Oh, we'll get to that. Any more on that decision being made on Decision Island?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
Are you satisfied? Are you good? now, this Tiffany advantage, I really wanted to get into this because this I thought was very stupid. All right, so now she has to go and no, it's not Tiffany. This was Liana who found this, right? Liana found this.
I think it has to be at Tribal Council, right?
Yeah, it has to be a tribal. It sounded like. All right, a lot of convoluted rules, with this one too.
Yeah.
But ask the person if they have an idol or an advantage. And they can only ask one person, right? And if they say yes, they have to give it up. If the person answers, and they have to answer truthfully, they must. And if they answer no, then your advantage is useless. Now, in her case, I guess this is great because she knows that Xander's got it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit of a flarn if you don't actually know. I also would like to know what happens, and maybe I missed it, but like, so if they do lie, it says they have to tell the truth. They must tell the truth. Now, if we didn't already know that Xander has it, or not, who cares, but not we as in us. We as in Liana and Camp. Right. Everyone there knows what he's got. So obviously she's going to ask him. But if you didn't know that, and then he lies, like Liana doesn't know that he lied. So who's going to tell you? Like, does Jeff stand up and go up? Like, what happens?
That would be my guess. My guess would be.
And then what's the punishment?
I don't know. Maybe whoever lied about having an advantage loses their vote for that night or something, you know, or they.
I think it's weak that they didn't tell us all the terms and conditions. That's all. Right. I would just like to know what happens if someone lies. I guess it doesn't really matter because they can't lie because they know we know that. So maybe that's why they didn't put it in. Waste of time.
Yeah. Well, if they lie, they would lose that advantage too. I guess, right? Like if they're sitting there and Leon is like, Xander, do you have an immunity idol? And he's like, no. Then it's gone. That's his punishment. Like he lied.
I guess.
But I do think it's interesting too. Like everything can come down to like how people word things. So like in that advantage that Liana ended up getting, it said like you can ask one person one question, right? So does that I guess she could ask, do you have, you know, like, because if Xander has two things, like as long as he's smart about it, I guess, and is careful with what he says, like he can guarantee that he is still like in a good position. Because like if Liana was to say, do you have an advantage? He could say, yes, I have this extra vote. But what if she says like I have an idol? Then he has to say, yes, I have this idol. You know, like it almost depends on how she asks the question also.
Yes, I agree with that too.
Yeah. So
she should ask if he's got an idol, because who cares about the extra vote? I mean, not who cares. I mean that does count for something, but I know I'd rather the idol.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I think it's kind of weird. Just steal it into asking and then lying. Like, whether the truth or dare. I don't know. Now, I thought this tribal was interesting.
I think mainly just because I was going to say, before we go to the tribal, should we talk about this argument that Shan and Ricard had? Did we talk about that at all?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, we didn't talk about that. No, and I had already kind of like forgotten about that. So I didn't take any notes on it because I was sitting there with my mouth open the whole time, and now I forgot about
it. I know.
Yeah, it was like an uncomfortable watch.
Yeah, it was. I actually didn't take any notes until like the very end. I was like, I can't forget that this happened. I was like,
I already had.
Oh man.
So we saw. What do we see here? We saw Shan asking for Ricard to give the extra vote back, give the advantage back, and that's how she would know that she can trust him going into this. Now, I almost want to rewatch this conversation because it wasn't until they were leaving for Tribal that then I remembered that Shan has a vote again. So when I was listening to this conversation, I was listening to it with like the thought of like, oh, well, okay, this kind of makes sense because like there's no risk in it for him if he gives this back to her because she can't vote anyway. He's like, I don't understand why he's giving her such a hard time about this. And then he even said in his argument that like, oh, how do I know you're not doing this like to vote me out? And I was like, what is he talking about? Like she can't vote anyway. Yes, she can. So it changes like the whole, I don't know, the whole intention behind like her argument and the conversation. I don't understand how she thinks she made any sense.
No, I totally agree. And I think that I almost felt like after he said, because he was like, it kind of feels like you're trying to take this from me so that you can blindside me. Like,
yes, that's exactly what it seemed like. That's what they did to JD last week.
Right. Like, it's like you have an immunity idol right now. Like you're good. Like, why are you trying to take this vote from me? Like, it seems like you're just trying to take everything for yourself. That way, if I leave tonight, now you have the extra vote. You have all the power. And like, and he's trying to explain it to her, and I almost feel like something like clicked for her because and she realized like, oh, this probably isn't a good argument, because all she could say after that was like, well, I still just want it back. I still just want it back. Like she didn't.
Yeah, because I think she started to
like,
realize how ridiculous she was being, and like, and I didn't listen to it with that like thought in my head. I was thinking, no, she's totally justified in wanting this back. Like, give it back. Like, she can't use it anyway. So like, why are you so worried about it? Why don't you want to give it back? What are you doing?
Right.
No, it was a ridiculous request. Sorry, Shan. Can't back that one. I thought that was messy. that was crazy.
And that was a moment, because we were talking last week on the podcast about how like Shan's been really playing such a good game. She's made all these moves and she's done really well. And that was like one of the first times that I was like, this seems really sloppy. Like you have your
really
idol,
sloppy, and like do you really not understand why he's not down to give this to you? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Lame. Oh, I did have a note about that. I just wrote Shan and Ricard and this extra vote, and with the bullet point underneath it, I'm tired of this. Because I'm very tired of the back and forth, and like, oh, if I want to trust you, give me this, and it's like, this is just ridiculous. Like, if any moment I have to give up something that's good for me, that does not make me trust you.
Right. Right.
That's crazy. Why would I trust that? You should trust that I'll do the right thing with my advantage. I don't know. No good.
I actually feel like that like dynamic, like I would rather have the idol, but if you are trying to work in like a pair with someone and you're trying to find a way to trust each other, like that is a good way to do it in a way, right? I mean, split up the advantages. We each have something, so if one of us goes, it goes with us. And like this way, like we each have something to hold on to that is ours, that we can kind of like use as some sort of leverage, rather than one person in the duo just trying to take over everything and have all of the power and all of the control. Like,
yes, yeah, I do agree with that. I don't know. This group pooling of advantages, just I don't like it. Because like, let's not forget, like, this is not Big Brother. All right, simply because this is episode 5, we have not been with these people for 5 weeks. This is day 10. This is day 11. Like, I don't know that I want to be pooling all my stuff with you. I don't know you. I mean, even after 5 weeks, I don't know you. Okay, but after 11 days, I most certainly do not. All right, you already I already saw you hustle someone for their advantage and then vote them out, and then you're trying to hustle me for that same advantage.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm like, you got to keep them separated. If there's two
I don't
people,
know. I don't even want people knowing that I have these things. I don't even know that I'd share it. If I found it, it's mine. It's a secret. I'm not telling nobody. Yeah. How could you possibly have a number one in this scenario? I would never survive in this atmosphere. Way too fast paced. Could not trust anyone. Like, there's no true bonds being made here. Because it's just too fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Makes me real nervous. And Jeannie trusted the pastor, and you see where that got her.
Yeah.
Eliminated. Evicted from the Survivor Island.
I'm a little sad to see Jeannie go. I like Jeannie.
Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, look, probably a delightful woman.
Yeah, there's just something about her. But she seems like a sweet person.
Yeah, I'm sure she's very sweet, but she is not good TV. All right? Hit the pike. All right, because of what are the options then? I'm going to lose Shan or Ricard, who, this is my number one. This is my number one. Fight. Come on. No, we got to keep them. Jeannie was the obvious choice. She's got to go.
Yeah.
Also funny that people don't know how to spell her name. And now, granted, I realize that would not really come up there. There's nobody else, they don't know.
Well, you see, here's
it's just funny for us to see it and then see them spell it wrong.
Here's the thing, though. Like, her name she's been voted for before, and her name was spelled right. like people, they see the spellings of their names sometimes.
Unless it's the people that were voting, maybe the people that spelled her name right were her friends.
Yeah.
These are the people who don't know
I thought it looked like Ricard spelled her name right tonight, but Shan did not.
I don't know whose handwriting is what.
Yeah,
I could never possibly tell.
Just from like the little flashes they showed on production, there was a point where they did show after the vote. They showed Shan like holding her.
Oh, I didn't
who
look.
She voted for up, and and she was the one that misspelled it.
Well, then also I'll note her handwriting. Atrocious. Like, what was that? I was like, because whoever it was that spelled it wrong, that was really, really a rough thing.
Like that's not like she put the G in, but like with the A, like I feel like usually if you're gonna have like if you have Genie with an A, I feel like usually there's a J in front. I feel like normally all the genies that I know.
Yes, I'm also surprised that these people are even thinking G's at all for this Genie. All right, because if I wrote Genie, I would not be using a G. All right, definitely JEANNIE. Okay, like something like that,
or even one N. One N.
Yeah, maybe one N. One N.
I had no idea the spelling of Genie's name would be.
But this is what happens when Gina's not here. We're doing spelling. What a mess.
Oh my god. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see what's happening next.
Yeah, well, hold on. I just want another discussion point before we go on to what we saw for next week.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
Be sorry whenever it's a conversation. I knew we weren't going to see it tonight, but the thought did cross my mind. Like, what happens now? Like, if both votes went on Shan? Oh. Okay, never mind. This is not an interesting point. This is a flarn. Because this was when I was under the understanding that Shan did not have a vote. Okay. I thought Shan wasn't voting, but she had an idol. Still an interest. I know you can still discuss this though, because it didn't come up, so nobody said anything. But let's just say her idol was now activated. No, then she does have a vote. So it doesn't even work. It doesn't work. This was a stupid thing. This was a very stupid thing. And now I don't even want to say it. But what my question is what would happen if she played her idol and both votes went on her? And since she couldn't vote, then like what happens? Do you just like revote? But that would never happen because her vote would have gone somewhere, and that would have been the one vote to evict or eliminate or whatever they say in this ethos.
Right.
But yeah. Oh well. So much for that. Doesn't matter.
I mean, there might have been different ways that we could have gotten there potentially. Like, say, no, never mind.
No, there isn't.
I was trying to think if somebody used their shot in the dark, could that somehow, but that it still wouldn't work. I don't think.
Well, I guess that would. If you use the shot in the dark and she got it and both votes went on her, if she did the shot in the dark, that vote, she doesn't get a vote because she did the shot in the dark. So then that would be the scenario I was posing, just the correct way.
But I guess she wouldn't do Shan wouldn't do that, I guess, if she had the immunity idol though.
No, she wouldn't. But let's just say she didn't have the immunity idol and she was just nervous. It was just down to this 3. And she did do it, and 2 of them did vote for her. I just wonder then what happens. I guess they just vote again. Oh yeah, I guess they would just have to vote again.
Yeah, I guess so. But I guess without that.
But you can't vote again. It's be 1 and 1.
Unless
right? Because if Shan did use it, it was activated, and then they knew. Well, obviously, Ricard's going to vote Genie, and Genie's going to vote Ricard. So,
Jeff is the tiebreaker.
Then everybody just goes. Well, never mind then. Everybody go back to camp. Take your torches back. Yeah, I wonder what that would mean. Oh well, we'll never know. Unless we do. Now, so obviously now next week, since you wanted to get to next week so bad.
Sorry.
No, I don't care. So it's not a merge. It looked like it was supposed to be a merge, but then
it looked like it, and then it was like sort of.
Yeah, and then she said, "There's never been anything like this." So I guess we don't know what it is. and we don't know what to expect.
I guess, I mean, we could try to make guesses. Do you want to try to guess what might be coming next? Like, because I was thinking, like, would they just take the 2 remaining UA players and put them with Yasa? Now you've got a 6-6 split, you know? Or would you take the remaining players and just randomly draw them again? Because now that you have,
well, so the randoming, I feel like we have seen that before. That's what I feel like they call that a swap. Okay, I'm sure somebody will tell us if we're right or wrong. But I've seen that they redistributed like tribes. I've seen that. So that wouldn't be that exciting.
So that would be like if they took, so there's 12 players remaining, and if they just like put them, like redrew them into 3 separate teams again, that's kind of what it would be.
I've seen that. Everybody just redraw new buffs.
Okay.
Yeah. So that just would not be in line with we've never seen that before. Teaser.
My first thought was like, I wonder if they're going to take these 2 UA players and move them over with Yasa, just, you know.
I'd love to see it. Then we immediately get Shan with Liana, which you know I already stan. I would like to see it.
The only thing about that, I guess, is that makes that UA and Yasa combination tribe like uber powerful. 2 immunity idols and extra votes, and you know, like
oh yeah. Oh well, because that won't be for very long, because you still have an actual merge to happen, and then everybody playing an individual game. So like, how long would that even really last? Because then you're looking at that's 12. I don't know when they usually merge. It's like 10 or 11. Whatever number, I don't want to do the math right now, but whatever number will eventually get you that odd number, because there's always one person out that's like, oh, I'm the swing vote, I didn't know. That happens every season, I feel like. So like, whatever number will get you there, it's always a number I can't figure out. I'm like, so that's got to be coming up if we're left with 12.
Okay. Is it unusual? I mean, I know we're all pretty new, but I know you've seen a few more seasons than I have. Is it pretty rare for like a tribe to go this long without losing a single person? I feel like Luvu has just been like,
I know. I feel like I've heard that even on other podcasts too. No, I have heard of that. They don't focus so much on one team not losing. It's usually the focus is on one team always losing. Yeah. So like we just don't focus on that thing. I also thought it should be noted, because I was listening to another podcast that was reviewing, like, you know, the last episode, and the reception that Heather got for her many, many failures in that one challenge that resulted in Luvu's, you know, big troubles there. I don't feel like Tiffany got that reception at all. You know, Tiffany underperformed, and her team just decimated her, like just told how useless she was and all this stuff. Heather really, really shat the bed. Okay. And her team really rallied behind her. And she really was wholly ineffective. Like, never did get it.
It is very true. It's very true.
Or did she? Did she eventually? No, I don't know that she did. Did she ever get through that?
Which one?
Heather.
Did she ever get through the...
You paused so long there that I thought you were frozen.
No.
And I was like, what am I going to do?
I was looking at something here, but then I was trying to figure out what you were saying. What's the question?
The question was, did Heather ever get past that point?
Which point? That first point in the competition? No, never actually made it past there.
So she held up the entire thing.
Yeah.
And her team was like so good to her. And then Jeff is like, see, we always have one of these moments on Survivor. So inspiring. So whatever. Tiffany is over here shuffling on the freaking balance beam on her ass, like probably getting splinters and shit. And Jeff is like, oh, Tiffany, another disaster. And it's like, whoa, like, why is she getting ripped? And Heather is like, oh, she's this inspiring moment. Like, I don't know. Tiffany never gave up. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think I have contributed to the shit talking towards Tiffany, and it's not right. All right, justice for Tiffany.
I've definitely contributed to it too, and I think she definitely got it. She definitely got it worse than she deserved.
Way worse than she deserved. Okay, because she was a comp beast in last episode, and now she's still playing the game. We're talking about her every episode, and she hasn't actually won anything. All right, there's something to be said for that. All right,
I would like to go back, I guess, to that competition because, I do wonder. Listen, I still think that Heather had a way worse performance than Tiffany, but I do think that
because at least Tiffany did get to the end of everything that she was trying to do.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know, like, listen. You go on this show, you have to compete. So I get it, but like, I don't think Tiffany was the first player on from her tribe in that competition to go. I think she was like more towards the tail end. So like a lot of her team had gotten over. Like she was able to watch Heather. Like if I remember correctly, she was like the first one on her team to go, or maybe the second. And it was
I think she was like second.
Yeah, she couldn't get that one thing to go. And like I wonder if maybe like a couple other people on her team had maybe gotten to go first. Like they maybe should have put her towards the end more. You know, like because that's why I feel like I feel like
that's still the best you can come up with.
I know.
Never has many times as she did it. Okay, you think that if she just watched it a few more times, she would have been better? She was doing it. She was having real life experience, and she was not succeeding. Okay, watching a demo a few more times ain't gonna do it. Nah,
you're right.
She was,
I'm
sorry. Sorry.
And I don't know why, but I'm definitely still being nicer to Heather than I was to Tiffany.
I know. You're trying to make excuses for her.
Try to come up with
Tiffany,
reasons.
Totally unacceptable. You just watched 2 people do it. 2. What's wrong with you? Heather, of course, she only saw 1. What do you expect? Leave her alone. What?
I think it's really. I think Jeff has influenced me. He really put me on Heather's side. But
I don't know. I feel like in this moment, Jeff may have been a little biased. Maybe he doesn't like Tiffany.
I will say. I mean, I do remember Tiffany just kind of like jumping off of that balance beam a lot, like not like falling off, like literally just bailing.
They were abysmal performances. Okay, they were, but still at the end of it, she got it done.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, like the other teams had enough trouble with the puzzle at the end of that competition because the end of that was like a puzzle thing. And as bad as Tiffany was, her team was still up there putting puzzle pieces together, like while the other 2 teams were still going. You know, like. There might have even been a point where Jeff was like, "Oh, you're still in it. You're still in the game." Because that might have been the same competition where I don't remember which team it was. Which was the team that had the like that puzzle piece flarn? Something got stuck in the bag or something. Like they had like a huge lead. I feel like that was the same competition, and that's probably why
I feel like that was
able to.
I feel like that was Ua. Wasn't that Shan that was up there with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I confused myself, I think, because I think I said Ua when I meant Yasa. But
because these are not words. And if they are words, then I mean they're not anywhere near our normal vernacular, you know, so of course they're troublesome.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah. This is a great episode.
I didn't think I was gonna have that much. You know, we talked for almost as long as the episode is, you know, without commercials.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought this was great, though. I can't wait to see exactly how the game is going to change next week now. And
I really think I would love it if they do exactly what you said. Just move the 2 from Ua right into Yasa and just let that be that. and let the two of them go at it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Luvu has yet to lose.
Right. They're such a solid
really
team.
Want them to lose. They are a solid team. But I think that I guess then what would be now the new Yasa would be pretty strong too.
Yeah.
Shan, Ricard,
if you're
Xander,
gonna take
Tiffany, Erica. No, Erica's on the other side. Who else is there?
There's
Heather.
Tiffany, Evie, Liana, and Xander.
Liana.
On Yasa.
Wow, totally blanked on that.
And like, if you're gonna take two players from UA, Ricard and Shan are definitely the strongest ones to go. To take the 4 players from UA that left, I would say that they were definitely the weakest.
Yeah, and they're the strongest socially and physically. They're going to be fun to keep watching, and I wonder if we're going to see any ramifications, any extra ripples after this extra vote fiasco. All right, because if I was Ricard, and I don't know, if I was Ricard, that would really have rubbed me the wrong way.
I think so too.
Yeah, because now I'm just thinking about it again, the fact that knowing that she can vote, and you're almost trying to hustle me like you hustled JD. And it was my idea to do the hustling. Yuck. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. I'd have a hard time trusting her going forward. And the issue with that is that, if that fizzled, Shan has Liana now. She's got something else to fall back on. And he does not.
Yeah. It felt like
that does leave him a disadvantage.
Yeah, I'd be very nervous if I was Ricard. I really would. Because that moment where she went to him and was like begging him for that extra vote back, like that was a genuine thing. And like she might say, "I can't trust Ricard," but we know that he was never wavering on that. His whole intention of talking to Jeannie and making her think that he was trying to throw Shan under the bus was all just a game to try to make her feel safe and comfortable and not do anything crazy. Like, I think I'd be very nervous if I was Ricard. It's clear that his level of distrust in Shan is not at the same level as her distrust in him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I think he's got some troubles.
Yeah.
He's got some troubles. But all right, well, I'm good.
Yeah, man.
So next week we're chatting episode 6 of Survivor 41 at 9:15. But before that, we've got Big Brother Over the Top and the Challenge 37 Monday at 9:30. And so lots of fun stuff coming up. Yeah. The whole Shelby thing to see what's going on.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm really nervous, but I'm excited to see how it unfolds. Fun thing. But all right. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we're out.